Good day, everybody. Tracy Brown here. Hope you're doing great. It's Friday, so it's Q&A Friday. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be answering those questions live here on the video. If not, and you're catching this replay live, you can always tag me. I'll come back and answer questions as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our minds because our minds are interesting. You know, we have thousands and thousands of thoughts all day long, and some of them are accurate, like, oh, like I'm looking over here, sky's blue. That's an accurate thought, it's an observation. I have a blue sky right now. Sometimes our thoughts aren't so, shall I say, trustable, and that doesn't mean that something's wrong with your brain or your thinking. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm just saying hello to the hellos I'm getting. Is that, we know with disordered thoughts and diet culture stuff, we have food rules and projections about what we think other people are thinking and what their food means about them, what our food means about us, all that stuff. So I'm kind of just doing a tip video today because I really want us to think about the power of, we have lots of thoughts, but your job is to actually try to pay attention. Just, it's interesting. There's two ways to go about this. So I want to give us two different strategies to deal with thinking that gets us in trouble. Essentially thinking that makes us do not so kind things to ourselves, whether that's restrict, binge, purge, go back on a diet, count calories, weigh ourselves when we know good and well is not going to be helpful. So I want us to think about two different things. One is that we do have to dismantle diet culture thinking in our minds. So food rules, for example. When you hear a food rule, let's say you hear, oh, fat makes you fat, or I shouldn't eat that, that was too much, or, well, that food I really like, but I don't really deserve to have it. A lot of that stuff is based on feelings, right? There's actually some of it, so you can look at the science that actually fat is not bad. Fat doesn't magically make you weigh what you shouldn't, or it wasn't what your body wants you to weigh. It's just a construct to get you to have some behavior patterns that give you some kind of result, which is if I eat less, I can feel less, or if I eat less, maybe I won't be criticized because maybe it'll change my body, or whatever it is that the function of those food rules has turned out to be for you. That's one way to do it. So if you notice those things, if you have the ability to, if you're grounded enough, you can instantly get a sheet of paper and write down, okay, well, who says? You can always challenge those things, challenge those things mentally with a dialogue of who says and where did that come from and who benefits from me believing in this food rule? Where's the science? All that kind of stuff. So you can totally do that. And this also goes for things that are a little trickier. Let's say nutrition. People will say, well, I shouldn't eat blah, blah, blah because it has XYZ things that aren't natural. Okay, I get it. I'm not saying that all things are good for us in all amounts at all times. Definitely not saying that. But if you're trapped in an orthorexic pattern of everything has to be XYZ a certain way, otherwise it's not good for you or whatever, you got to kind of check that because it's very extreme and probably pretty perfectionistic. And again, it's another way of self-protecting to keep feeling internally. It's like almost like when you limit your choices, you kind of limit your ability to take in and to feel stuff. So again, the same kind of protective strategy as we're talking about. Same thing with other behaviors. If binging is more the thing and your brain's like, well, I might as well just get it all because I can't have it tomorrow, or this is really terrible and I've already messed up, so keep eating. You're going to hear your brain say that. And this is where I need to say, well, who says? And what you're going to do, what you're going to notice if you're able. I know it's hard when you're in the middle, but it might be that train's too far down the track. But if you can just recognize that you have some of these thoughts of if you just overeat just a little bit, that you find yourself wanting to okay, screw it. That's actually still diet mentality. It's just a little different. It's like more the Last Supper syndrome, eating of this is all I get, and I've already messed up. So there's perfectionism in there, there's inner critic in there, and there's diet mentality in there. And so if you can catch any of those things, if we can say, okay, there's nothing here that's messed up, and there's nothing that I can't get something from here to help me. I can slow down and see what it is underneath this need to like eat past comfortable. There's something here that I'm trying to fill, or there's something here that I'm trying to feel different from. And I've done hard things before. So who says I have to eat the last bit, even though I know that I can go get more of this tomorrow, or I don't even know if I like it that much, and I'm just here in this spin. All right, so that's some of the thinking stuff that can be spinny. Now, a lot of you may have already done a lot of this, and that's been really effective. You've come pretty far with that. And what you're finding is that there's a lot of stuff that you know, like, I don't even want to be having these thoughts. I don't want to be having these I feel fat thoughts, or these restricty, binging kind of thoughts. And most of the time, you know, like, I've made some progress. If you've made some progress with this level of intervention with yourself, or if you've done it with me or somebody else, awesome. But what you might find is because a lot of this stuff is so old that you weren't even thinking about doing any of these things, and you find your brain spinning, and you feel like you can't slow it down. Now you know that you are actually bumping up against some more, like, against sensory or somatic memory, and what my suggestion is for your brain that's spinning. That's all we're going to talk about today, not the lower part of things where you're feeling kind of apathetic and who cares, and I can't even do the self-care thing for myself at that moment. Totally different video, but for today, I want you to go deeper to the part 2. Is consider if your brain is spinning on something that you know you don't even want to be having thoughts of. Probably some survival strategy going on thinking. And what I want you to do, you don't even have to entertain those thoughts of like, I shouldn't eat this, that's bad food. Tracy, tell me if that's too much. This happens a lot, and I'm like, I think that's that motor spinning. That's that motor spinning of like, I'm feeling scared and I don't want to go there. I want to run. And those thoughts kind of come up. That's where you know that you've got to get yourself grounded. All right. So hopefully you're using, if you haven't done the meditation series, I put that out a couple days ago. If you're not using that to help you with grounding tools, you need to get that. You know, I do have quite a bit of tools on my YouTube channel. If you haven't gone there and looked around, there's some stuff there too. And also in the self-study and in individual sessions, we do a lot more. And, you know, for now, I'd love to hear if you have any other tools that you want to share with the community here around, like, these are some things with my thinking is spinning. And, you know, I've used before, like, you find your feet, you get out in nature, you take a drink of water, you count backwards. Something that's really helpful for you is you pet your dog, or whatever it is you're doing to help you, like, okay, I'm not going to even entertain those thoughts because they're not legit. They're not legit when I'm thinking that, like, I can be out of control with food. Now, that doesn't mean you don't feel like you need containment. I totally get that. But oftentimes what's happening when you're having thoughts you just don't want to, and you kind of know, it's, okay, that's diet culture, that's this is that. I know that's not true, but it's still spinning. Then you got to do something body-based. Likely it is, and you're up in that spin, it's hard to talk yourself out of it. So body-based is where it's at. Find your feet, find your seat, find your back. Again, we've done lots of videos about that stuff. And if you're a newer watcher, then I have a lot of videos about these kind of things that we've done a lot of. So go back to the archives and look around. I can also put the meditation series below if you're interested in, like, you know, having it all, you know, on your computer whenever you need it. So, but I would love to. If anybody uses anything right now that they want to share, it would be great to see what everybody else is doing to help with that spinning thinking with food rules. So if you'd love to share about it, would love to hear. Thank you so much. And if you know of anybody else who would benefit from recognizing there's 2 levels of dismantling diet culture thoughts in our heads. Some of it's the questioning and the deeper dives into it and the decoding, and some of it's going to be healed body based. So you need to be able to do both. Oh, thank you. I have to comment on this. Hope you don't mind me saying. I won't say your name, but I just want to say, oh, I'm so glad that you showed up today. And if there's anything that you need, please, you can private message me, put it down here, and I'll answer your question. Or if you have a question that you want to get a little bit more clarity on, I'd be happy to be here. I'm not going to just jump off. But I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to hear that these videos are really impactful. So I appreciate that. All right. Anyway, please everybody share if you have a grounding tool that you really love to help you with the spin, because it's not always what you don't already know. Most of people that I know who aren't newbies to recovery, if you're new to this, yeah, you've got to learn how to dismantle diet culture just one thought at a time, like who says, what would happen, all that kind of good stuff. But if you are doing a lot already and you're just like, oh, Tracy, I know fat's not bad, or I know that if I have 2 more cookies, that's not too much because my body will tell me, but I'm having a really hard time not spinning and obsessing about that, then you know that this is body-based, and we need to work at it from the level of the body. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. Thank you all so much for coming live, and those who are watching the replay, if you know somebody who needs to hear about the 2 nuances to help with kind of diet thought thinking that won't stop, then pass this along to them as well. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.